Have you ever considered that the very eggs you might be enjoying for breakfast, lunch, or even dinner could secretly be undermining your health? It's a surprising thought, isn't it? For generations, eggs have been hailed as a nutritional powerhouse, a staple in countless homes, a go-to for a quick, affordable meal. We've been told they're good for us, packed with protein and essential vitamins. But what if some of the seemingly harmless habits we've adopted around eggs are actually turning this superfood into something far less beneficial, perhaps even harmful, to our bodies? Especially as we get a little older, imagine feeling consistently tired, experiencing joint aches you can't explain, or noticing your memory isn't quite as sharp as it used to be, all while believing you're making healthy choices. It's a painful reality to think that something so familiar, something we rely on, might be contributing to these very issues. The secret isn't in the egg itself, but in how we handle it, prepare it, and pair it with other foods. In this video, we're going to uncover 5 common egg habits that could be silently hurting your health. And more importantly, we'll talk about simple, practical changes you can make today to turn eggs back into the powerful health allies they're meant to be. This isn't about giving up eggs. It's about making smarter choices to truly benefit from them. So, if you're ready to learn how to unlock the true potential of eggs and avoid those hidden pitfalls, watch to the end for something that will truly surprise you and change the way you look at your next omelet. Let's start our journey into these surprising egg habits with something many of us do without a second thought: how we cook our eggs. You see, eggs are delicate, and while they can withstand quite a bit of heat, excessive or prolonged cooking can actually strip away some of their most valuable nutrients and, even worse, create compounds that aren't so friendly to our bodies. Think about those beautiful, sunny-side-up eggs, or a perfectly soft-boiled egg with a runny yolk. They're not just aesthetically pleasing, they're also nutritionally superior to their overcooked counterparts. When you cook eggs at very high temperatures for too long, especially the yolks, you start to damage the delicate proteins and fats. For instance, the cholesterol in egg yolks, which is essential for hormone production and brain health, can become oxidized when exposed to high heat and air for extended periods. Oxidized cholesterol is far more inflammatory and potentially harmful to your arteries than the cholesterol in its natural state. It's like taking a perfectly good apple and leaving it out until it turns brown and mushy. It's still an apple, but its goodness has been compromised. Beyond cholesterol, many of the heat-sensitive vitamins, like some B vitamins and antioxidants, can also be significantly reduced. We're talking about vitamins that are crucial for energy, nerve function, and protecting our cells from damage. When you consistently overcook your eggs, you're essentially getting fewer of these vital nutrients while potentially introducing unwanted elements. Consider the difference between a gently scrambled egg, still moist and creamy, and one that's dry, crumbly, and almost rubbery from being cooked too long in a sizzling hot pan. That dry, rubbery texture isn't just about taste. It's a sign that the proteins have become denatured to an extent where they might be harder for your body to digest and absorb. It can also lead to the formation of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, which are compounds known to contribute to inflammation and accelerate aging within the body. While a few AGEs aren't a big deal, consistently consuming foods high in them can build up over time and contribute to problems like stiffening of arteries, skin aging, and even issues with memory. So, how do you avoid this? The key is gentle cooking methods and being mindful of your cooking time. If you're making scrambled eggs, keep the heat on medium-low and stir constantly, taking them off the heat when they're still slightly moist. For fried eggs, use a moderate heat and consider cooking them sunny side up or over easy, so the yolk remains liquid and delicate. If you prefer hard-boiled, bring the water to a boil, then immediately turn off the heat, cover the pot, and let them sit for 9 to 12 minutes depending on your desired firmness. This method uses residual heat to cook the eggs gently without turning the yolks gray and chalky. It's a simple shift in technique, but it can make a world of difference in the nutritional quality of your eggs and how your body responds to them. You're preserving more of those wonderful nutrients and avoiding the creation of those less than desirable compounds. Now, beyond how we cook our eggs, let's talk about another crucial factor: the eggs themselves. specifically where they come from and how the chickens that lay them are raised. Moving on from cooking methods, let's really delve into the eggs themselves, because not all eggs are created equal. And this leads us to our second habit that might be harming your health exclusively: choosing conventional or factory-farmed eggs without considering their origin. Now, I know what you might be thinking. An egg is an egg, right? Unfortunately, that's far from the truth. The diet and living conditions of the hens directly impact the nutritional content and overall quality of the eggs they produce. Think about a chicken raised in a vast, open pasture, scratching for bugs, eating grass, and soaking up the sun. That chicken is getting a diverse, natural diet and plenty of exercise. Compare that to a chicken crammed into a small cage or a crowded barn, fed a diet primarily of corn and soy, often supplemented with antibiotics to prevent disease in such close quarters. The difference is stark, and it shows up in the egg. Pasture-raised eggs, for instance, are often higher in beneficial omega-3 fatty acids, which are critical for heart health, brain function, and reducing inflammation throughout your body. They also tend to have more vitamin E, beta-carotene, which gives the yolks that vibrant orange color, and other important antioxidants. Why? Because the hens are eating a natural, varied diet rich in these compounds, which then gets passed on to their eggs. Conventional eggs, on the other hand, are typically lower in these vital nutrients. The chickens are fed a limited, grain-heavy diet and often don't have access to the outdoors, meaning they can't forage for greens and insects. This means their eggs simply won't have the same robust nutritional profile. But it's not just about what they lack. It's also about what they might contain. Chickens in crowded, unsanitary conditions are more susceptible to illness, leading to the routine use of antibiotics. While these antibiotics aren't directly in the egg, the widespread use contributes to antibiotic resistance, a growing global health concern. Furthermore, conventional feed can sometimes contain pesticides or other residues from the crops, which can then be transferred in small amounts to the eggs. It's a cumulative effect. While a single conventional egg isn't going to make you sick, consistently choosing these over higher quality options means you're missing out on vital nutrients and potentially exposing yourself to things your body just doesn't need. So, what's the actionable step here? Start looking for labels like pasture-raised or organic when you buy eggs. Cage-free and free-range are better than conventional. But pasture-raised is truly the gold standard, as it guarantees the hens have access to actual outdoor pastures. If you can find a local farmer who raises chickens on pasture, that's often the best option of all, allowing you to see their conditions firsthand. Sometimes, these eggs might cost a little more, but think of it as an investment in your health. The richer color of the yolk, the firmer whites, and most importantly, the superior nutrient content are well worth it. You're not just buying an egg, you're buying a tiny package of incredible nutrition, harvested from a happier, healthier hen. It's about being a conscious consumer, understanding that what goes into the hen directly impacts what comes out in the egg that you put into your body. This conscious choice is a significant step towards ensuring your eggs are truly beneficial, not just a source of protein. And speaking of choices, our next habit deals with how we handle these precious eggs once we bring them home. Now that we've talked about how we cook our eggs and the importance of where they come from, let's dive into another crucial aspect that often gets overlooked: how we handle and store our eggs once they're in our kitchen. This brings us to our third common egg habit that can actually do more harm than good incorrect egg storage and handling, particularly the mistake of washing eggs before refrigeration or storing them improperly. In many countries, especially here, eggs come with a natural protective coating called the bloom or cuticle. This invisible layer acts as a natural barrier, sealing the porous shell and preventing bacteria, like salmonella, from entering the egg and keeping moisture inside. When eggs are commercially processed, they are often washed and sanitized, which removes this bloom. That's why eggs in the supermarket are typically refrigerated. Once the bloom is gone, they need constant chilling to prevent bacterial growth. However, if you're buying eggs directly from a farmer or a local market where they haven't been commercially washed, And you'll often know this because they might still have a tiny bit of dirt or feather on them. Washing them at home yourself before storing them in the fridge is a big mistake. You're essentially stripping away their natural defense mechanism, making them more vulnerable to bacteria, especially if they're then left at room temperature for any length of time. The pores in the shell, once exposed, can allow bacteria from the shell surface, or even from the water you're washing them in, to enter the egg. So, the simple rule here is if your eggs are store-bought from a refrigerated section, they've already been washed and must stay refrigerated. Put them straight into the coldest part of your fridge, ideally in their original carton. The carton actually serves a purpose beyond just protection. It helps prevent the eggs from absorbing strong odors from other foods in your fridge through their porous shells, which can affect their taste if you've sourced farm-fresh eggs that haven't been washed. Don't wash them until just before you're ready to use them. Store them in a cool, dry place, ideally in the fridge, even with the bloom intact, as refrigeration prolongs their freshness significantly. It's all about food safety, and knowing whether your eggs are washed or unwashed determines the best way to handle them. Another aspect of handling is cross-contamination. Always wash your hands thoroughly after handling raw eggs, and ensure any surfaces or utensils that came into contact with raw egg are cleaned with hot, soapy water. Don't use the same chopping board for your vegetables if it's just had raw egg on it. These seem like small, common sense practices, but they are absolutely vital in preventing the spread of foodborne illnesses. We've become so accustomed to the convenience of modern food systems that sometimes we forget these fundamental principles of food safety, principles that our grandparents would have known instinctively. Being mindful of these handling and storage habits ensures that your eggs remain safe and wholesome, truly serving as a beneficial part of your diet. Now, let's shift our focus from how we store and handle eggs to what we often choose to eat them with, which brings us to our fourth common egg habit. Now, let's talk about something many of us do almost instinctively, often without a second thought. And it leads us to our fourth common egg habit: pairing eggs with processed meats and refined carbohydrates as a regular breakfast or meal choice. Picture the classic English breakfast eggs: bacon, sausage, white toast, perhaps some fried potatoes. Delicious. Comforting. Yes, but for many of us, especially as we age, making this a regular habit can silently undermine our health. Eggs themselves are a fantastic source of high-quality protein and essential nutrients, but their health benefits can be significantly overshadowed by what we choose to put on the plate next to them. Take processed meats like bacon, sausage, and ham. While they might taste great, they are often high in saturated fats, sodium, and preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. Regular consumption of these has been linked to an increased risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, and even certain types of cancer. When you combine these with eggs, you're essentially loading your body with unhealthy fats and inflammatory compounds that can negate the good work the eggs are trying to do. It's like putting premium fuel into a car, but then immediately adding a load of sand into the engine. The engine might run, but it won't be running efficiently or for very long. Similarly, pairing eggs with refined carbohydrates like white toast, pastries, or sugary cereals creates a rapid spike in blood sugar. These foods are quickly digested, leading to a quick burst of energy followed by a crash, which can leave you feeling tired and sluggish. Over time, consistent blood sugar spikes and crashes can contribute to insulin resistance, increase the risk of type 2 diabetes, and contribute to inflammation throughout the body. Our bodies, especially as we get older, become less efficient at handling these rapid sugar fluctuations. The protein in eggs is wonderful because it helps stabilize blood sugar, but when it's consumed with a flood of refined carbs, that benefit is diminished. So, what's the actionable step here? It's not about ditching eggs, but about thoughtfully choosing their companions. Instead of bacon and white toast, think about what you can add that truly enhances the meal's nutritional value. Consider pairing your eggs with a generous portion of colorful vegetables, like spinach, mushrooms, peppers, or tomatoes. These add fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants without the negative baggage of processed meats. You could make a delicious omelet packed with sautéed greens, or serve your fried egg alongside a medley of roasted vegetables. 4. Your carbohydrate component. Opt for whole grains like a slice of wholemeal toast or a small serving of oats. These provide sustained energy and fiber, which is crucial for digestive health. Healthy fats, like avocado or a drizzle of extra virgin olive oil, can also be wonderful additions, providing satiety and essential fatty acids without the inflammatory effects of processed meats. Making these simple swaps means you're not just eating eggs. You're building a truly balanced, nutrient-dense meal that supports your energy levels, heart health, and overall well-being. It transforms your egg dish from a potential hidden health drain into a powerful source of sustained vitality. This conscious choice to upgrade your plate is a simple yet profound way to truly leverage the incredible benefits of eggs. And finally, let's consider one last, seemingly minor habit that can have significant consequences for your health. Now, for our 5th and final common egg habit that can surprisingly harm your health: consuming eggs that are cracked or have passed their prime. It sounds so simple, almost too obvious, but it's a mistake many of us inadvertently make. We might be in a hurry, not paying full attention, or perhaps we feel it's wasteful to throw out an egg with a tiny hairline crack or one that's just a few days past its best buy date. However, this seemingly minor oversight can open the door to foodborne illness and diminish the nutritional integrity of what you're eating. Think of the eggshell as the first line of defense. It's incredibly strong, but it's also quite porous. Even a hairline crack, so fine you might barely notice it, compromises that protective barrier. Once the shell is cracked, bacteria from the outside environment, whether it's from the carton, your hands, or other surfaces, can easily enter the egg. The most common culprit here is Salmonella, a bacterium that can cause severe gastrointestinal distress, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, fever, and abdominal cramps for older adults, children, and those with weakened immune systems. A Salmonella infection can be particularly dangerous, sometimes leading to hospitalization or even more serious complications. It's simply not worth the risk. So, the actionable step here is straightforward. Before you crack an egg, always give it a quick visual inspection. If you see any cracks, no matter how small, it's best to discard it immediately. Don't try to salvage it by cooking it more thoroughly, as the heat might kill some bacteria, but it doesn't eliminate the toxins they might have produced. This applies especially if you find a cracked egg in the carton when you first buy them. If that's the case, it's often a good idea to discard the whole dozen, as the other eggs might have been exposed, or the conditions that led to the crack might suggest wider contamination risks. Beyond cracks, there's the issue of freshness. Eggs don't last forever, and while the best buy date isn't an absolute cutoff for safety, it's a good indicator of peak quality and freshness. As eggs age, their internal quality declines. The air cell inside grows larger, the whites become thinner and more watery, and the yolk becomes flatter and more fragile. While an older egg might still be safe to eat if properly refrigerated, its nutritional value can start to degrade, and its flavor won't be as vibrant. Moreover, if an egg is truly spoiled, it will emit a distinct, unpleasant sulfurous odor when cracked. Never taste an egg to check if it's bad. Your nose is the best detector here. Another helpful trick is the float test. Gently place the egg in a bowl of water. If it sinks to the bottom and lies on its side, it's very fresh. If it stands on one end at the bottom, it's still good but not as fresh. If it floats to the surface, it means the air cell has expanded significantly, indicating it's quite old and should be discarded. Trust your senses and don't take chances. Being vigilant about checking for cracks and respecting freshness dates are simple yet incredibly important habits that will protect you from unnecessary health risks. It's about ensuring that the very foundation of your meal, the egg itself, is safe and wholesome. So, we've explored 5 surprisingly common habits around eggs that could be silently undermining your health. Even though eggs are generally considered a nutritional powerhouse, we started by understanding that overcooking eggs, especially their delicate yolks, can destroy vital nutrients and create potentially harmful compounds, making those gently cooked eggs the healthier choice. Then, We delved into the significant difference that comes from choosing pasture-raised or organic eggs over conventional ones, highlighting how the hen's diet and living conditions directly impact the nutritional density and purity of the eggs you consume. We also learned the crucial importance of proper egg storage and handling, particularly avoiding washing eggs that still have their natural protective bloom, and practicing strict kitchen hygiene to prevent cross-contamination. We moved on to recognizing that pairing eggs with processed meats and refined carbohydrates can negate many of the egg's benefits, encouraging you to choose vibrant vegetables and whole grains as healthier companions for a truly balanced meal. And finally, we just discussed the critical importance of never consuming cracked or expired eggs, understanding the serious risks of foodborne illnesses like salmonella, and how simple checks like the float test can keep you safe. It might feel like a lot to take in, but remember, small, consistent changes truly make a big difference when it comes to your health and happiness. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with one habit, perhaps focusing on cooking your eggs more gently, or making a conscious effort to buy pasture-raised eggs next time you're at the shop. Every positive step you take builds momentum and contributes to a healthier, more vibrant you. These aren't just about avoiding harm, they're about unlocking the full, incredible potential of eggs as a truly beneficial part of your diet. Eggs are amazing, and by making these mindful adjustments, you can ensure they continue to nourish and support your well-being for years to come. Your body is incredibly resilient, but it thrives on good choices. These simple habits are powerful tools in your hands, empowering you to take control of your health. We'd love to hear from you. Have you already started implementing some of these tips? Or perhaps you have a fantastic healthy egg recipe you'd like to share. Please leave your thoughts, questions, and experiences in the comments section below. Your insights could help others in our community too. And if you found this video helpful and want to see more content like this that empowers you to live your healthiest, happiest life, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It truly helps us reach more people who can benefit from this information. Thank you for spending this time with us. Remember, every choice you make today contributes to the vibrant life you'll live tomorrow. Keep learning, keep growing, and most importantly, keep nurturing yourself. Live your best life at every age.